Hi! So last year I made a whole video about my Chevening scholarship application, and you guys seems to really like it because it's the most watched video in my channel as of today. And I'm thinking I want to make a second part of that about my Chevening journey, but talking about my experience while I was in the UK doing my master's and my journey with Chevening in the UK basically. So I'm going to put down below all of the videos I made related to Chevening, so be sure to watch on that. And yeah, let's get to it. So the journey started before I set foot in the UK. A couple of months or a month before I flew to the UK, the UK embassy in my country held an orientation day, and in that day it was great. You were prepared for what to expect and etc, etc. You were also given a cash card, and this cash card would be filled with an amount of money for your arrival allowance in the UK. Every scholar is equipped with a cash card that will expire in like a couple of months, because once you arrived in the UK, you need to open a UK bank account so that the Chevening organization can transfer each month's stipend to that bank account. But it was very great that in the beginning they prepare that cash card for you. It was very good gesture from their part to sort of like prepare each cash card for the scholar individually. And then in I think late August 2017, I arrived in London, so happy to start on my new journey. I studied at LSE, London School of Economics and Political Science. I took a degree in gender, media and culture. So yeah, I settled in. I checked into my student accommodation, and then I think in around October, so a couple of months since you arrived, the Chevening committee basically expected you to sort of like settled in, and they invite you to a Chevening orientation event. And the event was held in it's a bit far from like central London. I don't really remember where it is, but it's a place that could host I think like 6,000 of us at the time, or I don't know guys, I'm bad with numbers, I'm sorry, but it was like this big hall, and it was like scholars gather everywhere. It was great, they gave you merch and they gave you speeches, very motivating speeches, and then they checked in if you're okay. And there were some like workshops or like seminars like that. It was pretty fun, but like overall, you took a lot of pictures, and like there are a lot of Chevening banners everywhere, so you took a picture in front of them with your fellow university friends or like fellow country friends. It was very exciting because all of us at the time basically just arrived in the UK to embark on this like journey, and they really did a good job in like making us feel motivated, because at the time winter is starting to come, and a lot of us come from like a maybe tropical country, maybe not used to winter, so it's really good to kind of like welcome us and just set the whole mood, And since we arrived, actually they publish a monthly newsletter. So that newsletter it's something that I think sort of like make you feel in a community, even though it's a big community of scholars. But with that newsletter, we know like what's happening with other scholars, and then like what events to come next, because Chevening hosted bunch of events. It's like professional related, it's UK culture related, sometimes it's about food, sometimes it's about like the UK nature, sometimes it's about like your professional fields like seminars or like debates and all that kind of stuff, which you can apply to. and I really didn't apply to a lot of them, but I have one experience that I can't forget until now. It was an event called Week of Women. It was held in London, and one of the series of event is held at the Buckingham Palace. It was hosted by Countess of Wessex, so I applied for it. I got accepted to go to that event, and I got an invitation directly with a header and everything from Countess of Wessex of the UK. I mean, I don't understand the royals, but it's sort of unforgettable. The princess, I think, the Countess of Wessex herself gave a keynote speech, and I mean, it was just great. I mean, going to Buckingham Palace because you're invited, you know what I mean? Like, it was amazing. But that's one of the amazing things they do with Chevening. You don't only get basically like sponsored for your education, you were given opportunities to network with people in London, like people from all over the world, and you get to experience a bunch of like things that you probably wouldn't experience, you know, like they kind of open those doors for you. It was great. And I feel like when you are accepted by Chevening, once you become a Chevening scholar, you sort of like have this thing with like another Chevening scholar. It's like this sort of like camaraderie that can be established, even though we're actually a very big community. I even met some of like Chevening alumni in my country after I got back. And I mean, they're an alumni from like years and years back, but they're still kind of like, oh yeah, you know, like it feels like we have like some similar experience, so that's why, you know, we sort of feel connected in a way. And the Chevening committee really tried to build and establish that sense of camaraderie, and I really respect them for doing it, you know. The FCO, the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, is I think the office that administered the whole Chevening scholarship. They did a really good job, and I feel appreciated, I feel respected as a scholar. I feel that they really try to host us well in their country, and so of course it motivates me to study even harder so that I will pass and they won't be disappointed with the results. Yeah, it was a very like humbling experience. Everyone was so nice. The vibe was amazing, and it was very diverse, very multicultural, and yeah. Oh, one more thing. Before all of us flew back to our countries, Chevening made a Chevening farewell event. It was bittersweet. I mean, a lot of us were already missing home, and but at the same time it felt so fast. Like, it wasn't even 12 months though. It was maybe like 11 months or 10 months. Yeah, well, it's almost like a year anyway. And during my Chevening farewell event with my fellow scholars, Boris Johnson, the current Prime Minister of the UK, was actually the one giving keynote speech, even though it was a recorded one because he couldn't come because I bet he was busy. But yeah, I mean, it's how important Chevening is to the UK government, that people in the higher up of the UK government actually pay attention to it and really try to host us. At the time, Boris wasn't the Prime Minister, and I don't have anything to say about his political decisions and stuff, but I'm just saying how the Chevening committee really tried to welcome you and to even send you off back to your country with a good and happy experience, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. I mean, it was an amazing opportunity. I can only say that. Like, it changed my life in a lot of ways. It changed the way I view the world, and Yeah, I guess that's that. If you are thinking of applying this year, I'm not sure what's the situation with COVID-19 really, but I hope you guys the best for your application. Feel free to comment down below if you have any questions, and sometimes I review essays as well. If I have the time, just send me some comments down below, and please subscribe to my channel because more videos about Chevening are coming up, videos about LSE and videos about my life in Sweden now. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!